right now I am on my way to Haltech, and the reason why I'm on my way to Haltech is all right, everybody, what is up? It is Jesse Wooji again, and we're back with some more content for my R32 GTR. So like you probably saw in the last video, I went to the drag strip, got to run it a few times, got to kind of feel out this new build and all that fun stuff. And basically what we found out was when you don't have flat shift, when you don't have launch control all programmed and done, it's very hard to be consistent. It's very hard to be really good unless you have a ton of practice. And I don't have a ton of practice in this car yet. I will get more practice, but I just don't have it yet. So I want to be more consistent. I want it to be, you know, better launching and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm heading to the shop right now. We are going to get the launch control programmed, and I'm also going to get the flat shift stuff programmed so that I can basically stay in the gas the whole time, not have to lift, and be able to shift without it upsetting the car too much. You can, I mean, I guess there are ways of flat shifting without having it programmed or whatever for ECU, but you can do a lot of damage, you know, to things like the trans, you know, and some other things when you don't have it programmed right. So I want to do it right. You know, in order to be really quick with it, you got to have it done right. So we're going to go to the shop, and my tuner, Andrew, is going to basically do what he has to do on the wiring side to actually make sure everything's wired up properly to make sure this works well. And then he's going to do what he has to do on the tuning side to make sure it's tuned right, so that when I launch, we're going to bring it up to the optimal RPM, and it's going to sit there, and then I'm not going to dump the clutch, but I'll kind of, you know, slip the clutch, and I'll already be in the gas, but slip the clutch, and it's going to fly out of the hole, launch super hard, and hopefully cut me some good 60 foots and stuff. The only true way to test it well is to do it at the track. Testing it on the street, you're not going to get accurate information because the street's inconsistent. You know, it's, you know, you don't have like a lot of grip, and you know, this thing's making decent power, so it's probably going to spin. So you know, that's the only way to truly test it. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Get this thing programmed right. Now, launch control on these is you know, a little different than some other cars. You know, because I have a Haltech Platinum Pro ECU, we can program it in there. Whereas, you know, there's OEM cars nowadays that have launch control already programmed in them, and some of them work good, some of them don't. But naturally, these R32 GTRs don't just have launch control programmed into them because it's a 30-year-old car. So in order to do it right, you get a good ECU, you get it all wired up properly. I think you got to have the right speed sensors and whatever other sensors and all that stuff, which I believe I have. All that stuff, I'm pretty sure I have it, because that's why my AEM dash can actually read all that stuff well. But anyways, heading to the shop, we're going to put it all in, get it all done right, and then I'll be able to launch this thing properly at the right RPMs and be able to flat shift so I don't have to lift out the gas and I won't fall out of the boost. That's the whole point. Is I noticed in the drag strip, because my shifts were a little bit slower, because I was clutching, lifting, getting back in the gas, doing all that stuff, boost was dropping hard. So, you know, when I'm back in the gas, it takes forever to ramp back up because I got a bigger turbo now. I don't have the smaller twins anymore, which used to not lag as much. I'm not saying that the current turbo I have on here is super laggy, but it's definitely not, you know, crazy responsive either, like where it's just like immediately, you know, like a supercharger or anything like that. It's not like that. So you know, can't fall out of boost. So we're at the shop right now. We're about to get this thing installed, or not installed, I'm sorry, we're about to get this get my flat shift and launch control wiring all done up. You got to connect the clutch switch to the ECU so that it can recognize it when you're ready to flat shift, when you're ready to do your launch control, all that stuff. You got to have like wiring done, all that stuff. I'm not an electrical guy. I don't know what to do where, because I don't want to screw it up. So I brought it to the shop so that they can handle it. Andrew's going to take care of it, get it all hooked up for us, and then we're going to go out and test it, make sure it all works right. We're going to test the flat shift, test the launch control, all that stuff, and see how it goes. All right, so we got the flat shift and launch control installed, and we just went out to do a quick little test, and yeah. man, this thing is absolutely mental when you flat shift. I got to figure out the second to third shift. Once again, I'm not very quick at it right now because when we switched from the stock trans to the straight cut gears, it's like the motion just isn't the same anymore. So I'm slower second to third, and that's killing me right now. I got to figure that out. Besides that, third to fourth though, first to second, man, oh my goodness, that is crazy. The power just stays there for days. It feels really good. I am pumped to take this thing on track and really run it hard. But man, it's pretty good. We tried launch control. We tested that out. All that stuff. It's nuts. It's nuts. So I'm pretty pumped on what this thing can do now. Man, this thing is a monster.